Welcome back to another episode of Take a Side, the sports talk show that lets you, the viewer, choose our winners. I'm your host, Jacob Polacheck, and as always, be sure to get on Sided.co and the Sided Debates app for your chance to climb up that leaderboard and take home a $25 Amazon gift card. After an eventful Super Bowl Sunday that saw Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeat the defending champion Kansas City Chiefs, we'll be talking all that and more. Before we get into that, we're going to be talking top teams in the AFC. Today, I'm joined by Max McElroy and Blake Sevenbergen to talk who has the better future in the AFC, the Buffalo Bills or the Cleveland Browns.
The Cleveland Browns easily have the best chance to be the next contender in the AFC over the Kansas City Chiefs for three reasons. The Cleveland Browns are a young football team, average age of 26. The Cleveland Browns are a talented football team. They've got Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham, Myles Garrett, etc. And they have a ton of cap space. The Cleveland Browns have a ton of cap space to bring in more pieces this year to build their team even better than it is right now.
Well, I have to disagree with the easily part. I mean, I think a lot of teams in the AFC are really great, and I think it's because of the young quarterbacks. And look at all of the AFC teams. Who is that best young quarterback outside of Patrick Mahomes? It is Josh Allen, and the improvement that he had this year with Stephon Diggs. And I think that in the AFC, it's about offense. The AFC proved this year that no one can stop the Chiefs. So then it's like, oh, you got to score with the Chiefs now. And so I think that Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, I think that is easily one of the top duos in the NFL. And I don't see that stopping for the next few years.
See, my problem with the Buffalo Bills is even though, yes, they have Josh Allen, they have Stephon Diggs, when it came to the AFC Championship, they scored more points than the Cleveland Browns did against the Chiefs. But the Browns played the Chiefs closer than the Bills did. Even though Patrick Mahomes was out towards the end of the game, they played well. You know, when the Browns needed to make a play, they made a play. And if they're a stop and a touchdown away from beating the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs, the Bills were not that close.
I think the main concern with the Browns, I think that their defense is pretty bad. I think they have a really good front line, a defensive line, and obviously a great offensive line. But I think the main thing is that I think Baker Mayfield is still a question mark. Now, he improved a lot this year, but it's not like he was throwing 35 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. He turned the ball over a little bit. He didn't throw for an insane amount of touchdowns. I think he was at like 22. And so I think he's still a big question mark. And when you don't have your quarterback, how far can you really get along in the playoffs? The competition is the Chiefs. That is what they made that very clear. And so how do you beat him? Oh, it's got to be the quarterback play.
See, I agree to an extent. Baker Mayfield's still a little bit of a question mark. But this year compared to last year, he's taken great strides in the right direction. And also, they have a two-headed monster in the backfield. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt are an unstoppable force in the backfield. Great running back pair. Baker Mayfield, when he's giving the ball to them and then running play action off of it, that offense is unstoppable. And when you've got a genius like Kevin Stefanski running the show, I mean, he's great. NFL Coach of the Year this year, and he's only going to get better. I think the Cleveland Browns, the ceiling it's astronomically high for them. And plus, they get a couple pieces on their secondary with the cap money they have. That defense is good too.
Yeah, I think that Kevin Stefanski is awesome. I think he did a great job this year. And it's really interesting to me because the AFC, I think like everyone talks about the Chiefs as this new dynasty, but the AFC has a lot of really good teams. Mm-hmm. Not only that, but they're young teams. So I don't necessarily know if the Chiefs are going to be like, this is the team that can, run away and start a new dynasty, because I think there are a lot of teams that are going to be there for a while. But even talking about the Bills, it's like the Bills are a young team still. I think they definitely need some pass rush, obviously. But at the end of the day, you're looking at the guy. I think in terms of arm talent, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, I think are pretty similar. Now, I don't know if Josh Allen can throw it, when he's falling down sideways on the ground, but it's just talking about a guy who can throw the ball deep, receivers who can get open, and I don't think you can really stop that anymore in the AFC.
Yeah, I agree. The AFC is loaded. Tons of talent in the AFC. With the Bills, you're right. They need some defensive pressure on the defensive line. Another problem for them, though, they're negative in cap. And Matt Milano, one of their star middle linebackers, he's in free agency. And they don't have the money to pay him. That's another piece that they could potentially lose.
Yeah, it'll definitely be an interesting offseason, but we are going to go to break, and we will see you when we get back.